kick off, first of all, guys, welcome to the Huawei P40 Pro Plus media briefing. A really exciting this week. For those of you who have never seen my face before but heard my Scottish accent, I am Ashley Valance from BCW. I'm the account director for Huawei and the client lead. Also on the call today from Huawei side is Paul Jowett, who is the marketing director at Huawei.
Morning, everybody.
Great, thanks, Paul. We also have Jade Tang, who many of you know already and have worked with in the past. She's the consumer PR and comms manager at Huawei. Jade, do you want to give a quick wave?
Hi, everyone.
And we also lastly have June, who is our amazing product expert at Huawei. I know a lot of you have already met June and heard from June in some of the other product briefings, but June, just want to give a quick wave so everyone can see you.
Everyone.
Great. And that is everyone from us today. In terms of the flow of today, I'm first of all going to pass over to Paul, who's just going to do a quick intro. Then we'll immediately move on to June, who will take you through the full product briefing deck. And then we'll lastly move on to a Q&A session and hopefully wrap up within the 45 minutes max. If anyone does need to duck off, please, we appreciate everyone's busy. Just flag and then duck off when you have to. Keep it as short and sweet as we can. So on that note, Paul, I'm just going to hand over to you.
Thanks, Ash. Morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well this morning. Look, thanks first of all for spending some time with us. Know everybody is super busy, but really appreciate you taking an hour just to hang out with us. But look, we are super excited to be bringing the P40 Pro Plus to Australia. I'm going to let June take you through all the specs and details, but quite simply, phenomenal products. Flagship product for us, incredible camera and camera system. So you can imagine we are super excited to bring that to Australia. Before June sort of takes you through the product, just want to give you a couple of very quick updates. I'm sure you're probably hearing this from most of the people you're working with at the moment, but despite an unprecedented global economic slowdown and challenges, we've continued to grow, and hopefully we are continuing to further our leadership position in innovation with the products that we're bringing to Australia and Australian consumers. The P40 Pro Plus will, of course, be a big part of this. Huawei consumer business has now reached 650 million global users on a monthly basis, and that's an increase of 25% year on year. In Q2 last year, I'm sure you guys are probably aware of this, but we overtook Samsung to become the world's biggest seller of mobile phones, shipping 55.8 million devices globally. We can't break down the sales individually, but what we can share with you is that the P40 series, which we're here to discuss today, is on par with sales of the Mate 40. So we're very, very happy with that result given the current economic climate. Moving on to the app gallery. Hopefully, guys, you're aware of this, but we're the third largest app marketplace globally. Huawei App Gallery is now available in 170 countries, which is pretty phenomenal. And we have 700 million monthly active users in the App Gallery. Locally, we continue to work closely with developers and app vendors to achieve Australian needs, which you would expect. And hopefully, what we're doing is we're continuing to grow and innovate together. Some of the most recent additions, if you're following us on social media, are WebJet, ZipPay, and 7plus, very, very famous and recognizable brands here in Australia. And we continue to bring new apps to the App Gallery week in, week out. We've also launched Pedal Search, and we're happy to provide you with all the details on that, but hopefully you have already received that. The Pedal Search is designed to bring consumers in contact with the apps and services which are meaningful to those guys. With that said, I will hand it over to June. Again, thank you for your time this morning. And of course, we'll take more questions at the end. June?
Thank you, Paul. So I'll just quickly share my screen to start off with first. And just confirming that everyone can see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
All good.
Thank you. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming over for the briefing for the P40 Pro Plus. So introducing here the P40 Pro Plus as part of the P40 family. What you will find here is visionary photography. What's new on here is the all-new Ultra Vision Leica Penta camera, which is the world's first, and also 100 times super sensing zoom, where you're going to find on this product. Now, in terms of the specs and features, what I will do today is with the P40 Pro, some of you I've already run through, so I would probably highlight the main differences and also just touch base on each of the key selling points of the actual device as well. And any of the questions that anyone has after, we can wait until the end of the session, and we'll be more than happy to answer the questions then. So first one here is with the first key selling point on the device is the art of motion in design innovation. Now, what you are going to find on here is, as with the P series itself, is the design innovation. And there are two new colors, and in Australia, we'll be getting the white ceramic, which is a different color compared to the P40 and P40 Pro, where you see a more gradient color on the P series. And also the back material is changed in the now P40 Pro Plus as well. So on the back here, what you will find on here is a ceramic material, what we call a nanotech ceramic material, which we're using. Number one, this is more highly scratch resistant compared to your standard glass back material. And not only that, when you actually look at the device here, it's got a really beautiful diamond-like shine on it. It's not a ceramic sort of finish, which is normally dull, but here you get a nice, beautiful shine as well, which, when it picks up sunlight, you'll be able to tell the difference on there when you're pulling out of a bag or whether you have it in your hand. It's very, very eye-catching. Now, when we turn that display around, what you will find here, just like the P40 Pro, is the Huawei overflow display, which is inspired from water overflowing across a glass edge. And you get a really beautiful uninterrupted viewing experience and a borderless visual experience as well. The device here is also really comfortable to grip. So when you are holding it in one hand, it is designed so you can securely hold the phone, but also having it not too wide as well, it is also comfortable to hold in one hand. Now, when we look over at the display itself, the display here comes with a 6.58-inch OLED display. And what we have here is the 3D quad curved glass. So part of the overflow display, what you're going to notice is the edge not only curves from the left side to the right side, but it also curves from the top to bottom as well, which you can see on here. And not only that, this one here will also have the anti-blue light ray technology, which will help with any users which are looking at it for a longer period of time. So if they are looking at their phone pretty much throughout the day, they can also choose to turn eye comfort mode on, which will be able to reduce the blue light rays, which normally causes more strain towards your eyes. I generally have mine at nighttime to about morning at about 7 a.m. and it automatically switches off as well, which is quite handy. Now, in terms of the fingerprint sensor, with here, what you will find compared to the P30 Pro is we have taken consumer feedback in terms of the device that they use and how their finger naturally sits. P30 Pro, we previously had it more closer to the bottom. Now, on the P40 Pro and Pro Plus, what you will find is that the fingerprint sensor is now situated slightly higher, so your thumb naturally sits on the device on the fingerprint and still be able to securely hold the phone as well. The sensor size is now 30% larger, and it also allows you to unlock 30% faster compared to previously as well. What you will also find on the P40 Pro Plus, just like the Pro, is that you will see the 90 Hertz refresh rate. This is really great for anyone that wants to use it for gaming. It provides both a balance of a smooth visual experience, but also better power efficiency as well, without draining too much of your battery. Now we turn that back onto the back again. If I pull the phone back, what you will notice is with the camera design follows the philosophy across with our whole P40 series family, which is the camera design here itself is designed to mirror the whole body. So it's almost like having a P40 Pro Plus, a smaller version of it on the camera array, giving that really beautiful iconic design when you do look at the device. So it feels very symmetrical when you look at the camera compared to the body as well. On the front, when you are making phone calls, you will have the Huawei acoustic display technology, which sits under the screen and uses magnetic vibration to create that sound. When you put the phone up against your ear, you'll be able to hear your phone calls nice and clearly as well. This device here is also IP68 rated, meaning that you can take it up to 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes in fresh water. And when you do go into camera, there is also a dedicated underwater mode, which will help you disable this quick touches on the screen. So you basically need to hold it for a longer period of time to actually engage that menu. And then it will use the volume rockers to either take a photo or do a video recording from there. Now, the next key selling component is camera innovation and the art of photography. So what you will find here is our all-new Leica Ultravision Penta camera, where you physically have a 5-camera setup on here. Let's take a look at what each individual camera does. So the first camera that you see on the top left is the 40 megapixel ultra-wide cine camera. And this one is really great for video recording and video capturing. Then followed by the main camera, which is a 50 megapixel ultra vision sensor, super sensing main camera. And you have the all new 8 megapixel 10 times optical telephoto lens. And paired up with another telephoto lens, which allows you to take it to 3 times optical zoom. All this together with our new dual periscope prism design can now take the zooming experience even further than before. The 5th camera is the Huawei 3D time of flight camera, which measures the distance and gives you a more accurate depth perception by measuring how long it takes for light to fly back into the camera. And you also have an 8-color spectrum color temperature sensor, which allows for better auto-white balancing as well, no matter what scenario you're in, whether you're indoors or whether you're outdoors. Now, in terms of the ultravision sensor, what you do have here is, compared to conventional RGB sensors, we're using a red, yellow, yellow, blue. So this will basically allow for more light capture at different color rays. As you're aware, with the color sensors itself, it generally only captures its own color rays. Red only capturing red, green capturing green, and blue capturing blue. So by using the red, yellow, yellow, blue design, we have yellow, which captures both the red and the green components in terms of color rays. What you also do have here is, with the ultravision sensor, the physical sensor size is larger as well, meaning that you have a larger physical area for more light to come in, leading to 200% more light intake compared to a competitor product as well. Now, in terms of the software component here, what you will also experience is the Huawei XD Fusion engine. So for those that have already used the P40 Pro, you would have experienced this by taking a photo. The camera is able to capture in multiple layers, and then you're able to, after taking the photo, you can zoom in and crop a certain section, and you'll still maintain a really great detail and vibrancy photo as well after taking it. You will also get on the P40 Pro Plus here the world's first octa-phase detection autofocus. So I'm sure when you've picked up the camera before, you'll see those little squares. That's the autofocusing working on the back end on any objects that are moving. Alternatively, you can also select, you can also choose to select something that's close to you or something that's further away from you. And you can see the transition between the two to actually see how fast this autofocus feature is on the P40 Pro Plus. Now, with the new optical telephoto lens, what you will find on here is 10 times optical zoom. As you can see here, there's the first picture which shows the whole resort. And even at 10 times, because this one is optical, you will still get a really beautiful lossless zoom on here. So with a combination of optical image stabilization and artificial intelligence image stabilization, or AIS, you're now able to take photo even at 10 times, which is super clear, and also better stability as well for your everyday users. You won't need to use a tripod per se, and you can simply just hold it in your hands and still get a really nice crisp photo. Now, taking that further with the all-new dual periscope prism design, as you can see on the left-hand side, it captures an area which is full of stones, and even I can't, with my bare eye, see the little roof that's on there with the characters as well. However, with the new periscope prism design on here and the 10 times optical zoom lens, you're now able to capture at 100 times super sensing zoom. So in terms of digital zoom, you're able to take it all the way up to 100 times. Whereas on the right, you're now able to see the roof color and even the roof tiles, and also the sign of the actual roof on there as well, which is really cool. So let's dive in and take a look at how that actually looks like. The next video will showcase the design of that new dual periscope prism design. Now, in terms of the ultra vision sensor, what's really great about it, and one of, I think, the key benefits that I found when I was using the camera is a lot of cameras nowadays, you do have that option of using a night mode on here. However, with the P40 Pro Plus, I was really surprised and stunned on how you can take a really beautiful low light photo without the need of flash, and also doing it in a single shot as well. So when you are using the camera, rather than needing to go into night mode, you can just use the normal photo mode and just take a single snapshot, and you're still able to capture a really great amount of detail in terms of low light condition as well, which is really cool. As part of also with the P40 Pro Plus, you will get to experience the AI Golden Snap feature, which for those that haven't used it, all you simply need to do is if you pop into the camera, on the main area here on the top left, you'll see there's a little circle here. I don't know, I'll probably get my hair in there. So if you just tap that, it will enable what we call a moving picture mode. So simply just take the photo in this moving picture on. You'll notice that the AI is disabled on the top there. And then after taking the photo, you're now able to select from AI best moments, AI remove passerby, and also AI remove reflection. The next few videos will be able to demonstrate and showcase what this looks like. So with AI best moment, it's really good for any action motion. So if you're, let's say for example, if you have yourself jumping in the air, you'll be able to utilize the AI and detect what type of motion you're trying to do, and it'll pick from the best moment from there. So simply go into that moving picture again, take the photo, go back into gallery, and you can select edit on that specific photo, and these options will open. That is the AI best moment. Just simply go in, go edit, and you have a little star on what the recommendation for that particular shot is, which is her jumping in mid-air. The next one here is remove passerby. And last but not least, of the AI Golden Snap is the remove reflection, which I think nowadays being stuck indoors quite a lot is quite a handy tool, especially when we want to take a photo of the outside. You can simply take the photo and then go back and do remove reflection on there, and you'll be able to see a nice clear, crisp photo of the outdoors from within. This particular feature is also quite handy, if any consumers are out there, doing some window shopping and just want to share a product that they fancy and don't want to see themselves in the reflection when they're sharing that photo as well. Now, moving on to the camera, the video component, what you will find here is the Leica 40 megapixel cine camera. So this allows for really beautiful low light for videography as well, and also you'll be able to capture in 4K resolution. Pairing that up with the ultra vision sensor, you're now also able to capture incredible time-lapse video, utilizing that ultra vision sensor at certain intervals of that time-lapse video, and being able to capture more detail and provide you with an overall better time-lapse video as well. And in terms of slow motion, with also that Leica 40 megapixel cine camera, you're now also able to take videos in super ultra slow motion at 7,680 frames per second. So you can do some really cool things like bursting a water bubble on here. And some other pretty cool things you can do, I think dating back probably 2-3 weeks ago when I went up to near the Snowy Mountains, there was a really nice resort area which had some archery. When I was using the super ultra slow motion, it was really fascinating to capture that, when the arrow flies, it's not moving straight, it's actually going one of these ones, which was really cool to see as well. Now, moving on to the front camera here, what you will find on the front camera is our 32 megapixel high definition front camera, also paired up with an infrared depth sensor and also a gesture camera as well. Now, what this means is even from a selfie camera perspective, you're able to capture really beautiful photos, even in low light conditions. As you know, with the infrared sensor, it's less dependent on light itself. So you'll still be able to map out your face more accurately and also be able to map out depth more accurately as well. Whether you're taking it in a low light scenario or in high dynamic range, you're still able to capture beautiful photos. But not only that, the gesture camera in here is also quite handy. I find myself lately on TikTok for quite a bit. But what you can do is if you just go into settings on the camera itself and under accessibility features, just wait for that to load. You go to there and then you select shortcut and gestures. And under that, there's a thing called air gesture. So if you go into air gesture here, you'll be able to turn on what we called air scroll and grab shot. Now, how you use this and how this is quite handy is without needing to touch the phone, you simply just put your hand up there. Once you see a little hand icon on there on your device, do a little squeeze. This one here now captures a screenshot. So if you were, let's say, for example, cooking or just, doing something where your hands are dirty and you don't want to use it to touch the phone, you can simply use that air gesture. Another really cool thing is, let's say, for example, now if I jump on TikTok, I can use that same feature, use my hand. Once it detects it, I swipe up and it'll be able to scroll through the next video. Or alternatively, I can do it the other way and swipe back to the other video, or I can keep going through it like this and just swipe up. So you won't need to actually physically use your hands to touch the phone. Really great for, let's say, for example, if you're cooking with a recipe and you just simply want to scroll down, you'll be able to do that with your hand gesture. Now, in terms of that camera earlier, I did mention you will get a really beautiful high dynamic range as well. So especially when we are taking photos, when we are indoors as well. And if you do a selfie capture with the window back behind the background, generally when you do focus on your face, the background gets completely overexposed. So with this, you're now able to take a really beautiful clear picture of yourself and also maintain the background without being overexposed as well. In terms of the front camera, you will also have a 4K video capture up to 60 frames per second, so you can record in 4K on the front camera as well. And also with that infrared sensor on here, this will also allow you to unlock the phone a lot quicker, even in low light situations as well. So what's really great about it is on our devices, you can set up the face unlock. Once you set it up, you can go back into settings and do what we call a direct unlock. So you simply pick up the phone, look at the device, and it will take you straight to the home screen without you needing to do another gesture to actually unlock the phone. Now, from a performance perspective, what you will find on the P40 Pro Plus, just like the P40 series, is our new Kirin 990 5G chipset. This one here is a single SoC chipset, and it combines both the 5G performance and also the standard performance of your phone on here. What that means is you will get 5G capabilities on here, and it is also future-proof. So it will support both non-standalone infrastructure and also future standalone infrastructure as well. Having that one single system-on-chip chipset will also mean better power efficiency as well. So you're not powering two chipsets to give you the 5G capabilities and also use your device as well. We do have it all in one. Not only that, this device here is also dual SIM, and you can have 5G support on both the SIM slots as well. So if you choose to use the dual SIM, you can either use 5G on SIM 1 and have 4G running on SIM 2, or without needing to take the SIM cards out, you can select 4G on SIM 1 and have 5G running on SIM 2 instead. Just like the P40 series, this one here will also have the Mali G76 16-core graphics for gaming performance on here, and also your general day-to-day activities. This also paired up with a massive 4,200 milliamp battery as well to pull you through an entire day of intensive usage. And not only that, with such a big battery, it will also support our 40-watt supercharge. So with 40-watt supercharge for 4,200 milliamp battery, you're able to take it from 0 to 70% in a quick 30 minutes. This is really handy if you are, running short in battery life and you have a full day ahead of you, especially for those that love taking photos. Generally, I found out, when I'm taking a lot of photos, it chews up the battery quite quickly. I was able to plug it in quickly, just for a quick 30 minutes, and I was away to go for the remainder of the night and even to the next day as well, which is really handy. In terms of wireless charging, you will still get that reverse wireless charging experience on here. So you can simply turn it on and use it as a power bank. If you have any accessory devices, which a lot of accessories now will also support this wireless charging function, you can just pop it on the device to use that. This is also Wi-Fi 6 Plus ready, meaning you can support up to 2.4 gigabits per second when you connect it to Wi-Fi as well. And from a memory standpoint, compared to the P40 Pro, this one here has double the internal memory capacity. So you do have 512 gig of internal memory and 8 gig of RAM, and it is also expandable via the nano SD card as well. Now, for our users that for our consumers that purchase our device here in Australia, normally when you do register for Huawei ID, you will get 5 gigabytes of free cloud storage. However, for those purchasing the P40 Pro Plus and our P40 series family, they will also get 50 gigs worth of free cloud storage for the first 12 months as part of our VIP service as well, which is really handy for anyone using our device and wanting to back up things like their photos and also their videos or music, etc. This device here will come with, from a software standpoint, EMUI 10.1. This means that we'll have multi-screen collaboration, which is really, really handy. I use it with my MateBook, and I find it really handy because you're able to transfer videos and photos really, really quickly using Huawei Share on here, simply just by tapping on the bottom right-hand corner of the laptop. Not only that, with the multi-screen collaboration, you're also able to do things like shake and tap, and that will start a screen recording of what's happening on your laptop right now. And that will take that file directly, recording it onto the phone, and you can share that with family and friends as well. Other features you can also do is you can have the phone already on your laptop screen. So if you do have the likes of the MacBook X Pro, which is also touchscreen, you can simply control your smartphone directly on your laptop screen without needing to actually pick up your P40 Pro Plus. And you can also type using your keyboard, and you can also send and do a text message directly on your laptop without needing to pick up your phone. Now, in terms of Huawei Share, this allows for super fast data transfer. As you know, with phones nowadays, especially with the P40 Pro Plus, you're capturing videos at 4K resolution. Naturally, your file size will become larger. And also, in terms of photography itself, having a larger camera sensor and also a larger megapixel size, your photos will naturally be larger as well. So with Huawei Share, in terms of collaboration with our partners, if you're using a DJI drone, you're able to, again, draw that video out from there and share it across to your P40 Pro Plus really, really quickly. And we'll also partner up with Hasselblad cameras, where you'll find some of the cameras will be able to do Huawei Share as well. From an animation perspective, you do have some really cool 3D Planet and also Emerald fireworks, just something small, but a day-to-day use that when you are unlocking a screen, you want to see something different on your screen. And this one here will also have the multitasking multi-window, which will allow you to have up to 3 apps running at the same time on there. So you can have the top 2 running, and you can also view a video without it actually affecting it or stopping it when you are browsing through the secondary window on the browser section. And the third floating window, which can sit on top. If you want to have a calculator, which runs on top while you're doing some calculations, you can do that as well. What's also really handy is the privacy and security component on this device here. So what I find myself tend to use is, because I am handing out my device to friends a lot just to showcase the device, what you can do on here is, rather than just unlocking the phone, you can also set a secondary lock on each of the individual apps as well. So you can set up a secondary password and fingerprint for an app lock, so specifically locking an app. For example, if anyone wants to go onto my Facebook, they'll need to go on, and then I'll need to enter my fingerprint or my password on there in order for them to actually go into the actual app itself. For those that don't like remembering their passwords or just have too many username and passwords, they can also use the likes of Password Vault, which will be able to remember that for them. And every single time they go on to different websites, this automatically enters it for them. Now, in terms of Huawei App Gallery, just some updates here. This device will run App Gallery. So on here, you'll be able to find the games, the latest games that you find and that consumers will want to play on the Huawei App Gallery. There are also some photo editing options also available and ready available on there, and some travel apps as well, which they can use if they're traveling locally. They can also use these apps and download it directly from Huawei App Gallery. Now, in terms of local apps, we are working really close with our local app developers, and these are some of the apps that you'll be able to see on Huawei App Gallery, and we've built more and more of that content. More recently, ZipPay has also come on board. You can use apps like Skip, which allows you to purchase coffees without needing to line up as well, and you can also find some really good specific benefits from App Gallery when you do subscribe for the likes of, let's say, Entertainment Australia as well, which is quite handy to get voucher and coupons for any place you want to visit. Earlier, Paul mentioned we also have pedal search. So as you know, there are multiple number of ways of getting apps on our Huawei mobile service device. Definitely number one for App Gallery, but why we introduced pedal search is that it just allows for choice and flexibility for consumers to be able to more easily find the apps. So there are a lot of items which are available on the internet already. However, with pedal search, when a consumer has it on the device, all they need to do is on the P40 Pro and P40 Pro Plus, they just need to go onto the main page and do a simple squeeze. Under widget, they'll be able to look through to pedal search and find the Find Apps little icon there. Now, what's really handy about this is once it's on your main page, you can simply just go into there and type in the app that you want to search for, and you'll be able to get all the apps which are already available in the internet, but then being able to show you just the apps only rather than giving you different websites to different links, which isn't relevant to the actual app itself. What's really good about pedal search is also you'll be able to find all your top apps, and it is also GDPR compliant as well. So for any users that are using it, this particular app here meets a lot of the privacy standards set by leading European privacy design search engines as well. As I said earlier, activating is super easy. Just go into that widgets and you can add that widget onto your home screen. Simply click on that widget itself and then just type in the app that you want to search. Now, what that looks like is when you do search for the app itself, there are different results that you'll be able to see on there. So as you can see on the screen, if the app is available already in App Gallery, you'll see there's a little verified symbol on there, and it'll also show you where you're getting this particular app from as well. It'll also bring up things like quick apps, which is also available in App Gallery, where you don't have to physically install the full version of the app itself. And you can just, it'll only take, I think, a few kilobits, and then you can just have it running. It provides a more cleaner interface. So just like adding a shortcut on your home screen, but without the need to see the actual search bar on the top. So you have a more cleaner interface of the actual app itself with quick apps. And then you moving down, you'll also be able to see things like, for example, Facebook, which takes you directly to the official website. And again, it will show you where you're downloading this particular app from. And they will also present you some search results from third-party repository as well. And you'll be able to see and know where you're downloading this particular app from. What's also really great about pedal search is you can also use this to search for ones which are only available through web browser, and you can simply create a shortcut like I did on my device. So you can have that readily available for your shortcuts on your phone, which you can just simply click on and it will take you directly to that service that you normally used to using. So that basically sums up in terms of the pedal search and also the P40 Pro Plus. Just to provide a quick recap, the next video here will touch base on all the components that we covered today.
Huawei P40 series. A new vision for what a smartphone can be. This is not just a step forward in smartphone photography, it's a whole new dimension. See more than ever before with the world's first ultra-vision Leica Penta camera. The Huawei quad curve overflow display is elegantly rounded from edge to edge. With a custom-developed nanotech ceramic body, it's incredibly strong, but feels delicately smooth. The Huawei Ultra Vision sensor gives you 24-hour super definition photography. Intricate details turn every crop into a story. At any time, day or night. The most advanced dual optical super zoom array technology will take you even closer to the moment. Shoot in 3 times, 10 times, even 100 times. The 40 megapixel Cine camera delivers pro-level ultra slow motion, so you can dramatically slow down time. Immerse yourself in the moment with audio zoom. The closer you zoom, the clearer the sound.
This is almost unwatchable, by the way. It's just a slideshow and the audio is terrible. I'm sorry. I had to point it out, but it's true.
You know, every photo you take has the potential to become your masterpiece.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. I'll probably share the video separately after as well.
Please do. Video just does not work on Zoom.
It just doesn't work.
Always awful.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, no, there's never been a good video on Zoom.
Fair enough. Thank you. Yeah, so just to quickly recap, in terms of just a bit of a comparison across from our P40 series, you'll be able to see on here the P40 Pro Plus from the color perspective. In Australia, we will be getting the white ceramic, and in terms of back material, we are using the nanotech ceramic on the back material, which is also IP68 as well. In terms of the camera, what you're able to see is on the P40 Pro Plus, it features the Penta camera, which is the 5-camera setup, and this will allow zoom capability at 3 times optical, 10 times optical, and also 20 times hybrid, which is a combination of both your optical and also digital zoom. And you can take it up for complete digital up to 100 times as well. From a charging standpoint, this one here will also have our supercharged 40-watt technology. And from a memory capacity, this one here will have 512 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM. So that concludes the Huawei P40 Pro Plus briefing. I'll now open up if there's any questions. Thank you all for your time.
What's the price?
Thanks, June. Guys, opening up for questions, can I just please ask that you start with your name and media outlet, just so the guys know who you are?
Okay,
Alex from Whistle Out. Oh,
so we have a dual Alex. I'll defer to Mr. Horish.
Alex from Whistle Out here. What's the pricing and availability?
So in terms of the device here, this one, the P40 Pro Plus will be at $2,099. And it's also available through Mobile City and also the Huawei Experience Store in Chatswood.
Just adding on top of June's comments, we also have a welcome offer for the consumers who made the purchase on the P40 Pro Plus. Consumer will get the gift with purchase for a Watt GT2E, which is valued at $349.
Hey, Alex Kidman from, well, freelance, but mostly from Finder. You mentioned third-party repositories. Which ones? Because there's a huge, using pedal search that way, there is a huge possibility of some massive security problems for consumers if they don't exactly know where they're getting apps from or how legitimate they are.
Sorry, Alex, could you repeat that? You broke up.
Sorry, okay, sure. I'll try. Yeah, I'll try again. So with pedal search, you mentioned that it'll use third-party repositories to get those APKs. Which ones? Are those transparent to the user? Because there's a huge, huge security problem there brewing.
So with pedal search itself, with that particular, it's a search engine which collates everything that's already available on the web. So as you can see previously when I mentioned with the actual third-party repositories, it would show you which particular repository you're getting it from. So the user will be able to see when they select the app and see where they're actually getting it from and can choose to decide whether they would choose to get it from there or choose not to get it from there. But pedal search here will just provide them with an easier way to actually see where these apps are actually available so they can actually search for it and then see and determine whether they should download it or not.
So if an app is duplicated for malware purposes, and that happens a lot, there's no way for a consumer to tell then?
Pedal search isn't designed for, so pedal search again is more so just to, because there are a lot of websites out there when you are doing search, let's say for example, you just search for a simple app on the actual web search engine, because it provides you with too many results, and again, like you said, potential malware as well. What this one here does, it more just congregates everything that is available from an app perspective. And again, it will showcase which third-party repository it is coming from. And the consumer will be able to see whether they will choose to download it from this third-party repository or not.
Just on that note, a lot of those third-party repositories are covered in really misleading ads. Like when I was playing around with pedal search, I went through an APK Pure, and it were like 5 different download buttons, and only one of them was the actual download button for the app. The other 4 were ads. How do you help consumers navigate that? Because I couldn't give that to my mom and dad. They'd like destroy their phone with a virus.
With that itself, I think that isn't something that we have, again, direct control over, because, again, for pedal search, it's more of a search engine for consumers to be able to find the apps. With that particular instance, this is something that from, what did you use, APK Pure? From a design element in their website, it's something that, they probably need to utilize that and make it a lot more simple without those actual ads with the download now buttons on there. So from an actual search engine perspective, pedal search will just congregate all the apps to allow consumers to be able to find the apps a lot easier on a Huawei mobile device. And if they do see things, for example, which are verified, there is a little verified logo on there, which means that the app is specifically available on App Gallery. And then if they do get it direct from App Gallery, there's no risk with what you're saying in terms of malware or anything like that, because App Gallery is, at the end of the day, Huawei's own app distribution platform, and we do have more security compliance and also security checks available on the App Gallery itself.
On the back of Alex's question, given the complexity, obviously, that pedal search can deliver, sorry, it's Lee here, is there any assurance that Huawei's own security counterpart inside the device can offer that it will prevent malware from breaking into people's devices if they accidentally click on the wrong thing? Because it's a genuine risk. Alex isn't wrong.
Yeah, on the devices itself, there is, you do have your virus scan available on there. In terms of, I guess, in terms of the actual website component itself, it really does come down to what that third-party repository would offer from a security standpoint. From the pedal search side, it's more so, again, just really to collect that information and have it readily available for consumers. On the device itself, there is in-house virus scanning on there. However, in terms of the preventative details on that, it really depends on what the website has put in place for users when they are downloading apps from their website. So again, more so pedal search is for users, again, to easily find these apps, but we are showcasing where they're downloading it from. So users do know where they're downloading this specific app from, and they will be able to see and make a decision on whether they want to download that app from this specific website or not.
Thanks, Jen. Anyone else?
I've got a question, actually. Obviously, given the, concerns over companies owning certain information, where is the Huawei cloud stored?
Are you referring to where the servers are located, or are you referring, sorry, can you be a little bit more specific?
Yeah, I'm referring to where it's located. And also, obviously, it's a question that turns up given the fact that Huawei is asking people to store their files with Huawei, and there is that Chinese government sort of connection that no one ever really properly ever explains whether it be forced or not. If I, for instance, were to share my files with Huawei's cloud, if it's stored somewhere else, great. Even if it's not, is there a risk that, for instance, the Chinese government, I don't believe that there is, but I'm just curious, if Huawei was ever asked to, would there be a risk that my stuff would be accessible?
So look, privacy and security is almost certainly, it is our highest priority along with consumer experience. In terms of sharing data, we are a privately owned company, 100% owned by the employees. We don't share information of any of our consumers with anybody. So consumers can rest assured that when they share any information with us or any information that's stored with us is safe and secure.
So didn't really quite answer the question there. I mean you did, yes, but where are the servers located for Huawei's cloud?
In terms of the actual locations of the servers, they're located in different countries around the world. There's no question that some of the servers are within China. We'd have to research the servers for information from Australian consumers. But again, just to reassure you, we are a privately owned company. Security, our highest priority. We just want to make sure that everybody's aware that we are under no obligations to share any information with anyone. And consumers can rest assured that when they purchase any Huawei products, they're getting the latest innovation, and all their information is safe and secure.
I also have one last question. Sorry if I'm jumping over any other journalists in this group. In the slide presentation, you talk about that the phone has PC features and whatnot. Typically, Huawei's PC features have just been for Huawei's PCs. That's obviously a very small demographic. Are the features on the P40 Pro Plus, or any of them really, ever going to migrate to Windows as a whole, or do you still have to buy into the Huawei ecosystem to get a Huawei phone to talk to a Huawei PC in the ways that slides demonstrate?
Yeah, that's a great question. So with regards to the actual product itself from P40 Pro Plus and our MateBook series, what we are trying to provide consumer is a more seamless AI ecosystem as part of the OnePlus 8 Plus N strategy, which again, starting from the smartphone, it is more designed for users that are using Huawei products. If they do buy the MateBook, they will also have access to the likes of Windows. And if they are pairing up with our device, because it does have the Huawei Share component, it also allows for faster connectivity and more seamless connection between the devices. So in short, for any users that are using our Huawei devices and also the MateBook, this will allow that ecosystem connectivity with each of the devices. And we also have some really cool upcoming products as well, which you'll see more advanced features of this type of multi-screen collaboration, which is really cool.
Kind of answered the question, also kind of didn't. Very, very, very PR-like approach. The Alexes would be annoyed at me if I didn't try to get an answer again, and I have to appease the Alexes. So importantly here, your slide doesn't actually say Huawei PCs are required to make this work. I've got no problem with you guys amending your slides for future sort of presentations, but when you say it's available for PCs, is there a chance that these features are going to roll out to PCs as a whole? Keep in mind that Windows is pretty much the thing that binds PCs together, not necessarily that Huawei makes them. Will these features come to Windows PCs, or are they specific only to Huawei?
Yeah, sorry, Lee. Like I said earlier, with regards to the actual multi-screen collaboration, it is designed for the MateBook PC, MateBook series. So when you are using our MateBook and pairing it up with the Huawei device for our overall ecosystem, this will allow for that connectivity and multi-screen collaboration between the devices.
So just to jump in there, Lee, to clarify, it's only available right now with the Huawei ecosystem. In terms of future plans for Windows, there's nothing that's, we can't really comment on that just now. There's nothing that's public to say that will or won't be. But right now it's Huawei products only as part of the ecosystem.
Cool, thanks for that. Next time maybe amend the slide so it says Huawei so I don't have to actually ask this question.
No problem. We'll take that as a note for future. Thanks for flagging. Any other questions?
From Whistler here again. When does the phone actually go on sale?
This coming Friday. It will be available online and in store.
Great, thank you so much.
7th of August.
Any other questions from any other media outlets?
No? Everyone good? Last chance?
Okay, why not? What makes ceramic nanotech? Like what's so nanotechy about ceramic?
Oh, sorry, I don't, can you be a bit more specific? What do you mean by?
Well, ceramic is a fairly easy material to shape at the best of times. Your spec sheet actually said something like nanotech ceramic or something like that. If you go back to your sheet, and I was really curious about that because is it just produced using nanotechnology? Does it have nanobot? What makes ceramic nano? What's so special about it?
It's more so the design process, but if you want to get more information, I can definitely get more information around the what specifics do you actually want to know about the nanotech ceramic?
I really want to know what makes it have that sort of application name. Like we don't typically refer to most things that are produced using nanotechnology in a material standpoint as nanotech based. I'm just curious to know what goes into that process, particularly since you're using it on your spec sheet.
Yep, we can definitely get that information in more detail for you from a product line. I don't have the information on specifically what makes it that, but we will get you that answer for that. Thank you, Lee.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Any more questions? Nope. Great. If anyone does have any more questions that they think of after we wrap up the call, please do feel free to flick them through to the BCW team as well as Jade, and we'll do our best to get back for you. In terms of next steps, as promised, BCW will share with you all of the information supporting materials after this call before midday. And just be reminded that there is embargo in place until 1 minute past midnight on the 5th of August. So feel free for your articles to go live from them. But up until then, if you could please keep it under wraps, and hopefully that gives you enough time to develop the articles. And I'll repeat again, any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us, guys. We're happy to answer any questions that might come up upon receiving the briefing documents. Paul, is there anything else that you'd like to finish off with before we wrap up?
No, guys, just want to make sure we've answered all your questions. If there's anything that pops up, please contact us after this call. But yeah, I really appreciate your time this morning. Been good to spend some time with you. Hopefully you've enjoyed the presentation. Incredible product. And yeah, thank you as always for your support. And if we can be of any more help, please reach out.